Greetings, friends of the PipeCat channel. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, I got some really bad news today, and a lot of you already know that we lost our friend John Harden, also known as Matches860. I guess that would be yesterday, January the 28th. I think it was from a heart attack, but I'm not 100% sure. Didn't really have a script or anything for tonight, but there's no way that I could let John's passing go without a few words. And as has been kind of a tradition with me, people who I've met through the YouTube pipe community, when I hear of one lost, well, I like to commemorate at least with a ceremonial smoke, and I would invite you to join me in one right now. Before I start having my smoke with you, when I first got interested in smoking a pipe a few years ago, I thought about buying one, and I wasn't sure what tobaccos people smoke, but I knew that I was interested in the hobby, and I wanted to research about it a little bit and just see how people were handling it, what kind of people do it, just out of curiosity. And of course, if you go looking for pipe videos, especially a few years ago, the one face you're going to keep finding is Matches860, and boy, nobody made a pipe look more interesting than Matches did. Just the way it was such a part of him. I mean, that pensive expression he always had, and the punctuation was always that pipe, and it was always a nice pipe too. But when I first started, you know, my first pipes were inexpensive, and I decided to break out one of my first ever pipes that I actually enjoy a whole lot, and this is a Missouri Meerschaum Bent Diplomat, which I actually purchased from, I think it was Aristocop, and this was a few years ago. And one pipe tobacco that our friend Matches860 always sung the praises of was this one. Can you read that? Cornell and Deal Haunted Bookshop, or HBS, as you can see. I've notated it because of my old blind eyes. I can see that a lot easier than I can see the print. Haunted Bookshop was Matches blend. If I smoked Haunted Bookshop, I was thinking about John Harden. I mean, not intentionally. It's just that this stuff went with John Harden. You didn't smoke this without picturing Matches860 being pensive over some subject. And I'm going to have a bowl of Haunted Bookshop with you to commemorate the involvement of the YouTube channel of Matches860 in my early career as a pipe enthusiast. As you can tell, I've learned to like HBS. I didn't used to like it very much. It was the persistence of one Matches860 that kept me trying it again, until one day it began to occur to me what he liked about it. And I almost kind of laughed at myself a little bit, because, you know, some people like me, hard-headed, you want to find in a tobacco what you're looking for, instead of exploring tobaccos to find what's good in them. And I can tell you, for me, for me, the best thing about Haunted Bookshop was that Matches860 liked it. So I'm going to light this pipe. Mr. John Harden, Matches860, I raise my pipe to you, sir. I'll never make pipe smoking look as natural as Matches did. If you've never tried Haunted Bookshop, let me try and convey to you the best points about it, as Matches might have. He'd be pensive. He would appear distant, but he'd be present, believe me. It's got a rich, sort of woody wheatiness about it. It's got a Virginia flavor, sweet, a little bit pungent, with a little extra kick of pepper on top of it somehow. When I first tried it, I said, this isn't smoky. This isn't hugely sweet. What's there to like about it? Well, Matches himself once said to me, when you grow tired of all the latakias and all the flavored tops and aromatics, when you grow tired of all that stuff, you're going to want something that's more of a staple. You're going to want something a little more basic, and you'll find yourself liking blends like this. And he was right on the money. It was probably within 6 months of him telling me that I was having the exact same thoughts and couldn't remember where I'd heard it. Sorry, I packed this in a hurry. It was probably still just a tad moist, so I'm having to relight it a lot. What I remember about John Harden, he looked like the man on the street. In fact, on a personal note, he actually resembled an older version of my mother's boyfriend when I was about 12. My parents had gotten divorced, and she had a boyfriend. His name was Harry. And when I first saw Matches, I said, boy, does he remind me of somebody. He reminds me of somebody I didn't like. I couldn't stand Harry. But the paradox was, and the conflict was, as much as Matches860 looked like a guy that I couldn't stand, he just kept showing over and over again that he was not that kind of guy. Don't judge his book by that cover. And after a while, he just became Matches860, and his look no longer reminded me of anyone but him. Because he's a very charismatic man. A lot of character. Nobody could tell a story like Matches. Because he just did it in his own way. No bullshit. No embellishment. And still interesting. He did interesting things. He met interesting people. And if you've ever watched videos with him and Sergeant Savinelli playing off each other, those are a lot of fun. They're a good laugh, and just good times, full of smiles. I'm going to miss that. And Friday Night Live with Matches, watching them shout out to people that were logging in and leaving comments Oh, hello Germany, hello Greece. I'll never enjoy popularity like that. It was great watching him enjoy it, though. And then he started incorporating that stupid bell on his desk. Oh look, $1.99. Ding. I jumped out of my skin the first time he did it. But yeah, just a guy you could relate to. A guy who championed a hobby that I liked a lot. A guy who, when I just thought to myself, was too popular to know that a little local clown like myself even existed or had a channel, would occasionally leave a comment with some pretty decent commentary, as if he paid attention, as if he'd watched the whole video. He'd ask me provocative questions once in a while. Did you ever think this, or have you ever tried that? Maybe you should consider this or that. And when it came from John, you did. If he said you should consider something, you should try it, you should. I've lost a few friends who I'd never met in person, put it that way, from the YTPC. I've lost a few. Some of them very close, and still hurts me in the heart. John was more of an icon than he was a confidant. We didn't know each other personally, but he did a lot to enhance my love of pipe smoking and my enjoyment of other people's insights and opinions. And boy, he was great for a story. When you had nothing to do on a Sunday morning, you could surf his channel and find some story or series of stories about his early jobs and things like that just kept you riveted for some reason. You wanted to know what happened to him next. And that occasional stories about women he'd met and places he'd gone, terrible blends he had tried, great blends he had tried, lucky finds of rare blends that he came across. It was always great to listen. And I don't want to make this video any longer than it is already, but I'm deeply saddened by the loss of John Harden, aka Matches860, and I'm going to thank him for being a great example as a pipe channel presenter, as a presenter in general. If you watched him, how calm he was, how collected he was, you gleaned a lot from that. I did. And I liked his style. There's nobody like him, and we're going to miss him. Thank you for watching my channel today, and yeah, raise a pipe to old Matches860. Alright guys, thank you and take care.